The wedding invitation was delivered to my office by courier at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, which meant Sarah had paid extra for track delivery to ensure I'd receive it. The kind of careful planning that should have tipped me off about her book club months ago. My secretary knocked twice before entering, her face a careful mask of professional neutrality, as she handed me the cream-colored envelope with Michael Harrison, written in my wife's distinctive handwriting. I almost laughed when I opened it, thinking it was some kind of joke, until I saw the date, 2 weeks away, and realized they'd already put down deposits. Sarah and David cordially invite you to celebrate their union. The words blurred as I read them again. David, my younger brother. Sarah, my wife of 8 years. The woman who kissed me goodbye this morning and reminded me about dinner with her parents this weekend. I sat back in my leather chair, the one Sarah had helped me pick when I made partner last year, and felt an odd sense of calm wash over me. The invitation included a small card. Registry at Nordstrom, Williams-Sonoma, and Target. How practical. How very Sarah. My phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Book club running late tonight. Don't wait up. Love you. I photographed the invitation next to my lawyer's business card. The one I'd been carrying for 2 months, since the night Sarah came home from book club, smelling like men's cologne that wasn't mine. The same cologne David wore. Thanks for the evidence. I texted back to the group chat that included Sarah, David, and surprisingly my mother. The forensic accountant will love this. Also, Mom, were you planning to tell me you're listed as the mother of both the groom and bride? The typing indicators appeared and disappeared frantically. My phone rang immediately, Sarah, but I declined. Then David. Then my mother. I declined them all and called my lawyer instead. Jim, it's Michael Harrison. Remember that prenup you thought I was crazy for insisting on? Time to earn your retainer. As I waited for Jim to pull my file, I studied the invitation more carefully. Professional printing, embossed letters, RSVP cards with meal choices. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. The venue, Rosewood Country Club, required booking at least 6 months in advance. I would know. It's where Sarah and I got married. Michael, I've got your file. What's the situation? My wife sent me a wedding invitation. To her wedding. To my brother. There was a pause. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You heard correctly. I need to know my options. Well, the good news is the prenup is solid. She gets what she brought in, you get what you brought in. The bad news is that my brother is marrying my wife while she's still married to me? That would be the bad news, yes. I hung up with instructions to prepare the paperwork and pulled up my banking app. Our joint checking looked normal. Wait. 3 large withdrawals over the past 2 months. Book club expenses, according to the memo lines. I screenshotted everything. My office door opened. My secretary peeked in. Mr. Harrison, your brother is here. Should I send him in? I straightened my tie, the one Sarah had given me last Christmas. And Linda, please stay close to your phone. David slouched in, looking like he had in high school when Mom caught him taking the car without permission. At 32, he still had that boyish charm that let him get away with everything, including, apparently, stealing his brother's wife. Mike, I can explain. Sit. I gestured to the chair across my desk. Explain what, exactly? How you accidentally fell into my wife. How you accidentally planned a wedding. How you accidentally sent me an invitation. It's not like that. Then what's it like, David? I leaned back, studying him. Same nervous tick, rubbing his left thumb against his palm. Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you're planning to marry a woman who's already married. To me. She's leaving you, he burst out. She's been unhappy for years. You're never home, you prioritize work over everything, you. I prioritized work to pay for the house she wanted. The car she drives. The lifestyle she insisted we needed. I kept my voice level. But please continue. Tell me more about my marriage. David shifted uncomfortably. She loves me. I love her. We didn't mean for it to happen. When did it start? Book club. About 6 months ago. She was lonely, and I was. Let me guess. You were there to comfort her? I pulled out a folder I'd been keeping in my desk drawer. These are credit card statements. Every book club, night for the past 6 months. Charges at restaurants, hotels, even a jewelry store. All on the card I pay for. David's face flushed. That's not. My favorite is this one. I held up a statement. The Paradise Resort. The same weekend Sarah told me she was at a work retreat. You posted photos from there on Instagram. Solo vacation to find myself. I believe the caption read. You've been investigating us? No, David. I've been documenting my wife's affairs. Yours just happened to be the most recent. I spread more papers across the desk. Tom from her gym. Marcus from her actual book club. Yes, there is one, she just doesn't go. And now you. David's mouth opened and closed like a fish. She said I was the only one. She says a lot of things. I leaned forward. Tell me, what's your plan after the wedding? Where will you live? The house. She said she'd get the house in the divorce. I actually did laugh then. My house. The one I bought before we married? The one she's not on the deed for? That house. She said it was community property. Nothing is community property when there's a prenup, David. Which she signed. Enthusiastically, if I recall. She was so in love, so sure we'd never need it. I pulled out the document. Would you like to read it? Your future wife was very eager to prove she wasn't after my money. Ironic, really. David slumped in his chair. She said you'd be difficult about this. Difficult? I'm being remarkably civil. Our brother-in-law is a police officer. Our cousin is a judge. Our mother apparently knows about this wedding. And yet here I am, having a calm conversation instead of destroying your life. Mom knows because she understands. She wants us to be happy. Mom wants grandchildren. Sarah promised her those, didn't she? I saw the truth in his face. Let me guess, she's already pregnant? 6 weeks, he admitted quietly. Interesting. I did some quick math. 6 weeks ago, I was in Tokyo on business. 10 days. Sarah was supposed to be at her sister's. I smiled coldly. Tell me, did she mention that her doctor said she couldn't have children? We tried for 3 years before the tests. That was stress-related. With me, she's relaxed, Anne. With you, she's lying. I opened another folder. These are her medical records. She had me get a vasectomy 2 years ago because she didn't want to take birth control anymore. Told me she had endometriosis. I found out last month it was a lie. David went pale. What? She can have children. She just didn't want them with me. Too much responsibility would ruin her figure. All things she told her sister in texts I legally obtained during my investigation. But she's pregnant now. The test. Did you see her take it? Did you go to the doctor with her? His silence was answer enough. David, she's playing you the same way she played me. Except you're easier. You still have trust fund money from Dad. This is about love, not money. Really? Then why is the wedding at the most expensive venue in town? Why is she registered at stores she made me shop at for years? Why did she specifically mention your trust fund in texts to her sister? I pulled out my phone and showed him screenshots. Sarah's texts were damning. David's easier to manage than Michael. Younger, dumber, and rich. The trust fund kicks in when he marries. We'll be set. David read them slowly, his face crumbling. This can't be real. The investigator verified everything. She's been planning this for months. You're not her escape from an unhappy marriage. You're her lottery ticket. But the baby. What baby, David? Has she shown you an ultrasound? Been to an appointment? I gentled my voice. You're my brother. Despite everything, I don't want to see you destroyed like I was. He buried his face in his hands. God, I'm such an idiot. Yes, you are. I stood, walking to my window. But you're also my brother. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to cancel this wedding. Break it off with Sarah. Tell her you know everything. She'll be devastated. She'll be exposed. There's a difference. I turned back to him. I'm filing for divorce Monday. My lawyer has everything. The affairs, the financial fraud, the lies. She'll get exactly what the prenup states. Nothing more. What about me? You. I considered. You have 2 choices. Stand by her and get destroyed in court along with her. Or walk away now and salvage what's left of our family. Mike, his voice cracked. I loved her. Or thought I did. I know. And I did. Sarah was intoxicating when she wanted something. But she doesn't love you. She doesn't love anyone but herself. My phone buzzed. Sarah again. Why aren't you answering? Is everything okay? Book club is wrapping up early. Want me to pick up dinner? I showed David the text. Still playing the devoted wife. Even now. What do I do? First, call the venue and cancel. You'll lose the deposit, but it's better than losing everything. I handed him a business card. This is my therapist. You'll need one. And Sarah? Leave her to me. I smiled grimly. I've been planning this as carefully as she planned her wedding. David left, looking broken. I felt a twinge of sympathy, but it passed. He'd betrayed me, but he was also a victim of Sarah's manipulation. The real confrontation would come tonight. I worked late, preparing. When I finally got home at 9, Sarah was in the living room, book club novel prominently displayed on the coffee table. She'd changed into my favorite sundress, the one that used to drive me crazy. "There you are." She bounced up to kiss me. I let her. "How was your day?" "Eventful." I poured myself a scotch. "Got an interesting delivery at the office." "Oh." Her voice was carefully casual. "A wedding invitation. Beautiful cardstock. Must have been expensive." I took a sip. "Sarah and David. Romantic." She went still. "Michael." The forensic accountant was particularly impressed by the venue choice. "Same place we got married. Efficient." "I can explain." "No need." I set down my glass and pulled out the divorce papers. "Jim drew these up this afternoon. Sign them, and we can make this clean." "You don't understand. David and I are in love. Planning a future? Having a baby." I watched her face. "He called off the wedding, by the way. Something about trust fund provisions and fraud charges." Her mask finally slipped. "You poisoned him against me." I showed him the truth. "Your texts to your sister. The credit card fraud. The affairs." I shrugged. "He made his own choice." "You bastard." She grabbed for the papers. I let her have them. "I'll fight this. I'll take everything." "With what lawyer?" "The prenup is solid. The evidence is overwhelming." "And you're pregnant?" "David knows that's a lie too." She glared at me, all pretense gone. "I wasted 8 years on you." "No, Sarah. You wasted 8 years of my life. But at least I learned something valuable." I headed for the stairs. "You have until Friday to move out. I'd suggest staying with your sister. Or Tom. Or Marcus. Or whoever's financing your lifestyle next." "What about David? What about him? You think he'll take you back? After seeing who you really are?" I paused at the top of the stairs. "Oh, and the country club called. They're refunding his deposit, minus the cancellation fee. He asked them to send you the bill." I locked the bedroom door behind me, listening to her rage downstairs. Breaking things, screaming threats. Let her. Everything valuable was already in storage, including my self-respect. My phone lit up with texts. My mother, apologizing profusely, swearing she thought I knew and approved. My cousin the judge, offering to handle the divorce personally. My brother-in-law the cop, asking if I needed anything. But the last text was from David. "I'm sorry. For everything. When you're ready, I'd like to earn your forgiveness. Your idiot brother." I stared at it for a long moment before typing back. "Ask me again in a year. And David? Thank her for the invitation. The evidence really was perfect." Downstairs, Sarah had gone quiet. Planning her next move, no doubt. But I was done playing defense. 8 years of marriage had taught me her patterns, her weaknesses, her tells. The wedding invitation lay on my nightstand, a monument to hubris and betrayal. In 2 weeks, instead of celebrating their union, Sarah would be in court. David would be in therapy. And I would be free. I turned off the light and closed my eyes. For the first time in months, I slept perfectly.